right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, like, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us and all is well. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction, that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself, so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry, because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers, so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit, and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger, because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thanks for tuning in on this fine Wednesday, and it's a pleasure to be back with you today. Got a bit of a show for you. We're going to be getting into a number of things here. Got a number of things, actually. We'll see what we could get into, because we're talking about marriage, women. Look, we haven't talked about women in a bit, maybe. We've been going easy on them? No. No need to go easy or hard on them. You're supposed to have love. Welcome to the show. We get maybe a little bit on this recess over Epstein. They're not going to work over there at the House over the Epstein thing there. There's a vote they want to avoid. They're saying in the news, but, they've done a lot of work, okay, folks? And we suffer for the fall. We suffer due to the emotional public, okay, a little bit. You guys may be right at some things. But look, I got maybe even some quick thoughts on that if we can spend just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. Other than that, we got a number of things to get into on this fine White History Wednesday. Happy White History Month, everybody. And nice to see you here over there on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. And YouTube. Nice to see you. Okay, Punchy.tv, Anchor Baby. Coming back soon. Had to get something handled. But that will, for those that watch there, it's nice to see everybody in the chat. How you doing, Jep, Justin, Carver, hey, Argalunas, Thor, sweet Amy. The sweetest of Amy's, Mr. Pink, everybody, Jeffrey. Jeffrey Harris. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. We'll get to everybody's supportive super chats and all that. Buymeacoffee.com/Anchor Baby. And what else here? Look, if you want to call into the show. That's 888-775-3773. You got something on your mind, something you want to say, you're welcome to call the Anchor Baby. By all means. In fact, I do want to show some love to the calls. We'll do a little different here. Jump into the calls. Show a little love to the calls here at a moment. Of course, 888-775-3773. Now, what else here? There's something else. Oh, well. Welcome, everybody. Let's just kind of kick it back here with some calls while we put together my notes here. Hold on. Amazing. So great. And let's use the tech here. Come on. Let's not be silly. Let's use the tech. We don't have sound effects. I still don't have sound effects. I still go for when we pop in and out. That other guy, not me. Lil Nick. I guess I'll do this. I can do the water drop. Okay. Kyle, Massachusetts. Appreciate you tuning in and calling the show. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
Yo, happy fucking... Oh, sorry, pardon my friend.
Excited on a White History Month Wednesday. Dial it back.
Yeah. Wait, am I allowed to be white?
You're allowed to be white. You're allowed to be... Does that mean swearing?
No. I don't have a sailor mouth. I'm down by the river. Just enjoy. It's nice out. I'm in Boston. It's like rural Boston, like lower.
Nice, man. Haven't heard from you in a bit. How you been?
No, I'm really good. Really good. How are you doing?
All is well, man. All is well, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Are you married or no?
No.
No. Are you working on that? I mean, it's fine if you're not. I'm just curious. I've been watching your show for a while.
Yeah.
You seem like a cool guy.
Working to that? I don't know how you work to that. You just get married, no? It's like, hey,
let's get married. I mean, right. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I shouldn't ask that. But
no, it's fine. It's a fine question. Don't worry about that. No, I'm answering sincerely. I don't think I have ever worked to that, and I don't know how I would. I think I would just
right.
marry.
Yeah. Whenever the time's, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've just been reading the Bible. So there's this part of the end of the Bible called Revelation 20:2:3.
Revelations. You said what? Ooh, I know so little about Revelations. You said 2:2 what?
So 22 3.
22:3. Yeah. I get it now. Yeah. That's how you say Bible verses, right? The chapter, the
Right.
verse. I'm there.
And
Take me
I'm
there,
not
sir.
and when I say I'm not a Bible thumper, because you guys hate that shit, like, dude, I got kicked out of CCD when I was like 5 because I was like, dude, this is bullshit.
Keep it a little clean, man. Keep it clean.
Yeah, pardon my friend.
You said CCD. What's that?
Well, they call CCD in Boston. It's just like a place for like Catholic school kids.
CCD.
Like,
and so you Bible thump there community. I mean, I don't want to dox, but basically, you said it's a Bible
it's
school.
like South Shore. I'm not. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean I dox my. I mean it's South Shore, Boston. I'm not going to say the town, but yeah, it's like all right. So here's the deal. So when I got
with
confirmed,
the Bible, bring it up. Let's go.
Yeah. So when I got confirmed, in my church, they gave me this Bible. It was a KJV. I never read it. I always read fiction, and I studied like history and stuff like that. So I started Bible thumping. You know what I'm saying? Like recently, because of all the horrors that are going on. And it's weird. So I'm going to pull it out right now and read it.
All right, let's do it.
And
let's get
right
to it. You said Revelation 20. What made you want? Go ahead and read it. Tell me why you want to read this.
The reason I want to read it, because I've been doing studies on the chronology that was created by Joseph Scaliger. That is all around the crucifixion.
Don't worry too much about dropping names, man. Come on, just tell me what you want to say.
Right.
So some chronology. Okay. Apologies, I'm interrupting here.
No, it's okay. I'm being a something. I'm sorry to be all like Bostonian. Sorry. Right. So it's weird. So it's very fascinating because it's Revelation 22:3. It's called the Little Season. So, all right. So here we go. It's like right here. Ready? I'm almost there. Okay. So here we are. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Mind you, this is the Bible. This is Revelation 23, the page. I can't find the exact...
No, I'm following so far. Yeah, bound him for 1,000 years.
Right? And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up. And hold on, ready? Sorry, car went by. And set a seal upon him that he should. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
he
fuck.
should deceive.
Shit. Yep.
That he should go on.
Yep. Yeesh. There's a lot of wind. Yep. Here we go. Shut him up that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season.
So what's that mean to you? What's that so important?
Well, based on the chronology, so you know what 1776 is? It kicked off right here in Concord in Boston.
The beginning of America?
Yeah, and America is it's not definitely not the devil's country. It's kind of like where everyone goes, and it's kind of like God's country. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, based on my research of chronology, it seems as though that it's like is like now.
That what is now? What is now? You cut up.
That the little season is right now at the end of the Bible, and based on research, fascinatingly enough, it's very strange. But you know, some people have to go to Princeton, go to all these schools where they hide secrets, like they hide secrets in the Vatican. Here's another one. I'm gonna be really quick.
So okay.
How are you gonna hide all the secrets in the Vatican when they're printing Bibles by the second? There's literally Bibles everywhere. you can't hide secrets from us. Anyways.
So you believe we're in the little season. Satan has been let loose. He is deceiving the nations once more. What happens after the little season?
Right. What was he not? Was he not doing that? Oh, do you want me to read the rest of it?
No.
Okay.
So you're saying we're in that little season. You believe we are, and how did how did you concluded that? Like something caused you to go into the Bible to then conclude this.
Right. So essentially, and also, let's go for Trump, guys. He just created a new treasury, and he spent $2 billion on.
Something caused you. You said it mentioned earlier. Something caused you to go into the Bible like this to conclude this. You were saying something about the world.
Like I said, I'm not. Like I said, I'm sorry. What? Your name again? I know you're American Anchor Baby. What's your first name?
Nick. Anchor Baby's fine. Yeah, Nick.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Anchor Baby. Okay, yeah. But no, because like I said, I'm not a Bible thumper. I got this KJV Bible when I was confirmed 20 years ago.
But you said the world, looking at the world and seeing something craziness in the world caused you to go into Revelations. You're reading Revelations, you're like, wow, we're in the little season. Is that fair?
Yes. And I'm a nerd. I do like crazy historical research. Like I read really fast. I have ADHD. I fucking, shut. Pardon my French.
Did you read the part that says you won't know when any of this shall come to pass and stuff like that?
Right.
What do you think about that part?
So here's my. So yeah, no, 100%. No, like that's a very good question. That's a very good question. Yep. And my answer is like, so like the little season. So basically, so Satan is a fallen angel that fell from heaven. He was jealous of humans, and he wanted to be like them.
But everybody knows that.
Right. So,
everybody, atheists know that. Everybody knows that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody knows, like, fallen, evil happened, right? In some way, shape, or form. So.
Right, and mind you, like, I'm not trying to act like a theologian or like a nerd or like something like that. Like, I actually care about people. Prayers for everyone listening and you, and like I keep to myself. I'm a good friend. I'm straight up. I'm not joking. But yeah. So like, shit. Pardon my friend.
What makes you a good friend? You know by now. Come on, you could keep it chill. You could keep it. You could.
Yeah,
you could slow down a bit. You could slow down a little bit and stop that. I think you could stop that.
Yep.
Right.
Sorry about that.
You agree? You can. Right.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
You agree? You can slow down and stop that, right?
Okay. So.
No, I just want you to say yes. Nothing personal. I just want you here to say yes.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, I find this.
Absolutely.
Look, to summarize, I find this interesting because. When I do read the Bible, I don't find anywhere in there that I'm asked to figure out the revelations and endings of the world and do any of what you're saying. It's quite clear.
No.
It's quite
right.
It seems quite clear that you're meant to deal with yourself, deal with what's going on inside of you, and
100%,
pretty much all
I agree,
talk of this. Revelation, the 1,000 years, the sealed, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it comes from fear, you told me. And it seems a little too quick for a Christian to say, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm reading the Bible. I'm not a theologian, I'm trying to learn. It's a little too quick to begin on that, don't you think? Tell me what you think. Because when it's telling you in the Bible, the same Bible you're reading is telling you not to have a spirit of fear. So what do you think about that?
Right. Well, yes. So essentially, I've been doing deep research on the Florentine Codex and the Dead Sea Scrolls. When Israel was founded, who founded it? I'm not going to say that on.
What do you think about the Bible saying you shouldn't have a spirit of fear? You said, out of looking at the world, looking at how crazy it is, it caused me to, run to my Bible and read this. And all this stuff.
No. I didn't have a spirit of fear when I went to the Bible, American.
But didn't the world cause you to do this?
No.
So then what is it? When you looked at the world, you thought to yourself, wow, this is scary, this is terrible, this is evil. When you look at the Bible for some clarity here, wow, it's the 1,000 years of Satan. Didn't we agree that that's what happened? Or tell me what you're saying.
That's 100% the opposite of what happened.
Okay.
Okay, so my family is sick, and I'm a construction worker in a warehouse district right south of Boston, and I don't have any money, and I live like an idiot.
What's that have to do with having fear over what happened?
No.
Okay,
I'm just saying that. I'm saying that the spirit of fear. I've always moved forward on anyone messing with my family and friends. I've never had fear, so it's not about fear. So are we clear there? You see where I'm coming from?
You said you've always moved on someone messing with your family and friends?
What
do you mean by that?
Protecting my people. Yeah, like that's what I don't have fear in my heart.
But wanting to protect people is fear.
What?
Yeah, you go around wanting to protect people because you're afraid they'll be hurt. You're afraid something will happen to them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be I didn't mean to like yell or whatever. Anyways, no. I've never read the Bible. So I opened it up.
Isn't that fear to go around thinking I need to protect people because you're afraid they'll be hurt?
No. It's like my mother's 67, and I'm trying to make sure that there's no home invaders. Is what I'm saying.
And that's fine. You could do that, but you don't have to have fear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying. Yeah, that's all I was talking about.
So if you can defend her from home intruders, why are you unable? Why did the world still cause you to go to the Bible in this way?
Well, I mean, should I not read the Bible, or should I? Should I read the what do they call the Islam? What's the one?
The Quran?
Should I read the Quran instead of the Bible?
I mean, why not?
I mean, I'll read it for research, but
what's the difference between reading the Quran for research and reading the Bible in the way you read it? What's the difference?
The way I read the Bible? Like,
yeah, you said I might read the Quran for research, but so are you saying that there's a different way in reading the Quran? Tell me how you can read the Quran for research and read the Bible in a different way. Yeah, help me understand that. What's that different way?
Okay, so the Quran, when you read it and when you actually figure out what they have this thing called taqiyya, which means you're allowed to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up, viewers. That's a real thing. Also, they falsified multiple parts of the Jewish parts of the Jewish people.
Well, I'm asking, how is it different when you're saying you read the Quran? You might read the Quran for research. How is reading the Quran for research any different from reading the Bible? You're saying, so wait, are you telling me that basically when you read taqiyya in the Quran, you're like, well, I'm just reading this for research. I'm not going to believe that. But when you read the Bible, you're like, this is the word of God. I'm just going to believe that. Hello? Oh, we lost Kyle. Kyle, hey, I was having fun there. Am I impossible to talk with, folks? No, wait, let's not do that. I had plenty of calls yesterday. Call me, hey, whatever. I thought they were fantastic questions. Listen, where were we? Like, what would be the difference, right? I'm just going to read the Quran for research. Isn't that kind of an interesting statement? Like, how's that any different from reading the Bible? Isn't the Spirit of God beyond words, beyond this text that some other person wrote? Shouldn't you be able to see God, if you're his son, be able to see him in all things wherever he may be? I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't know. Maybe some Christians might want to call me and maybe tell me what it is to read the Bible not for research, I guess, truth or something. I've been reading the scriptures since I was 8. If JLP actually read scripture, his crew would know the truth. That's just an interesting question, no? What would be the difference in research the Quran? But what else was he saying there that was interesting to tie it up? I mean, whatever. Let's move on here. Great call, man. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciated it. But what else about that? Darn. It's escaping me. It doesn't matter. 888-775-3773. Bible thumping. That's what we were talking about. Bible thumping. Revelations. What was it? What did it say? Something. It said something. Come on, Christians. But what about that day or hour? No one knows. Not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Nor the Son. Yeah, I guess when I'm reading Bible scriptures, this is maybe that's the difference between reading it for research and reading it with like spiritually. You got to say it like how I'm saying it, right? Like like a preacher or something. Not even the Son. I'm telling you, it's very clear, folks. I mean, actually, I'm adding the emotion, but without the emotion, I kind of still mean that. I mean, it's saying angels in heaven nor the Son. Aren't we supposed to be the Son, even if we're bad representations? We're not gonna know the manner, the day and hour unknown, but about that day or hour, no one knows. Wait, how's the full thing go? Nor the Son, but only the Father. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the... You know what's another thing? I just realized when people read the Bible and they say, wow, that's happening today. We're in the 1,000 years right now. Wow. I just saw that old clip of that radio guy saying, if I was the devil, and it's a solid clip. If I was the devil, I would be pushing sex on TV and saying it's a square to be a Christian, whatever. If I was the devil, I'd be doing that, what I'm doing right now, or something like that, right? I just realized if you're seeing these things, drawing parallels, going like, wow, I'm waking up to this, wouldn't that cause you to consider the and then I'm going to get to calls. I see you guys calling in. Thank you. 888-775-3773. Consider the order of operations here. You read something, you're like, wow, we're in the times here. Things are happening. God is real. And let me just go further off into my mind, into, speculation, what might come, what might happen, the research, the words of others, this YouTuber, that YouTuber, historians, theologians. And instead of going like, wait, whoa, this is real. What's it asking me to do? What am I supposed to be doing here? We can give you the words. I could give you some of the words. I didn't read the Bible that much. I do read it. I do get it. I do crack in there. But I know it tells you to repent, right? It's like, what's repent, right? Honestly, I had to come across Jesse to really lay it out for me in a way that I can at least try and discover send me the right way. Discover within myself. If you have anger, if you get mad at somebody, I mean, think about what that means spiritually. You are judging them. You are expecting something from them. You are expecting that you deserve this or that. You're playing God. But whatever. Look, I got calls. I guess a little Bible thump in there, huh? Revelations. I want to get to, look, 888-775-3773. I'm going to get right back to my calls. I appreciate the patience. 888-775-3773. And the super chats and all that. Going to get to everybody. How about we just, a little news quick, just to kind of do something here. Recess over Epstein. Okay, Politico. Getting down here. Going hard on the Republicans. Oh, let's remove that. About how they're handling this. Okay, they're calling it a Epstein crisis. They're saying it forced Republicans to shut down House early. And they're going into some recess here, okay? It was supposed to happen tomorrow, but it's going a day early. And it's as it reads, House GOP leaders canceling Thursday votes, sending members home early for a month-long recess as the Jeffrey Epstein crisis deepens on Capitol Hill. The decision to move up summer recess came after Republicans lost control of the floor over bipartisan pressure to vote on releasing Epstein-related documents. House committees will keep working through the week, but there will be no further floor votes after Wednesday. GOP leaders were talking with Trump administration officials, searching for ways to appease Republican members incensed over the lack of public information and Speaker Mike Johnson's handling of the matter. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, headed into a House GOP meeting Tuesday morning, said in a brief interview that Republican leaders and others are trying to expedite the administration's release of information over the August recess. Okay, so trying to get these, they call it bipartisan pushes. Bipartisan pushes for releasing of stuff. I think a lot of members are frustrated that for years, Democrats covered for Epstein, but ultimately they also know that President Trump's in court right now trying to unseal the documents, and for whatever reason, the courts have sealed a lot of those records, Scalise said. We hope they unseal those and show them to the public, trying to get that expedited. And so, yeah, that's kind of some quick thought I had on that. You know, there's something to be said about this whole the conclusiveness. Okay, actually, am I done with this article? Actually, I can get right into what I want to say. Johnson addressed the issue, blah, blah, blah. So you got some Republicans, you got internally other people in Congress trying to make stuff happen that, in a sense, I don't know if it's exactly against Trump, but I mean, I don't know if they don't want. They're saying there's no list in the way that people say, and that he committed suicide. But what these people are trying to do is unseal these documents and these records, flight logs, as you're familiar. And what is he trying to do here with trying to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, like I mentioned yesterday, and stuff like that? You could say maybe the release of the MLK files and stuff like that. You could say it's trying to win his base back in a way. It's politics in a sense. And yeah, I guess you have to, right? I guess you have to win him back. I mean, he does care about what you want, right? I mean, either however cynically you see it, for mere politics or more, I mean, he has to, right? I think he does. And so when you put it like that, for me, the way I kind of take it, seeing the public, I say we suffer for their folly, for their emotional nature. Y'all might be right on a couple of things, maybe more or whatever, but you understand this being politically negative. We would suffer in the sense that, can the administration operate perfectly for us? Well, no, we must suffer for the folly of the emotional public. I think they're far too quick to be like, hey, what the F? On things that I'm a little dubious on how it would change things. So they're recessing till September, and the word is like, well, so what? They're going to block this stuff, and now we're going to get nothing done till September. You know, they're working on it, no? Big, beautiful bill, passed it on the 4th like he wanted to. I'm going to still wait. We're going to watch, okay? I'm not feeling the way most people are feeling about this. And you know, the Democrats covering this, the cover up and all this. Look, can we, just thinking simply on this, when they're trying to tie him with it, put it like this, they're trying to tie Trump up with this constantly. But what's so difficult here? If it was, it's like, let's just try and tie him up and give you the letter where he doodled something and they sort of talked about things that they like. It's unclear, conjecture, speculative, and a photo with him, and the flight logs redacted. Is Trump on it or not? It's like, wow, look at how hard they're trying to tie him with it. Why not just be conclusive? I don't think that's a silly statement. Just be conclusive if it was there. Oh, but they don't want to implicate themselves. If you release this stuff, it would be bad for Democrats and Republicans. It's just nasty stuff. They're trying to protect themselves. Stuff I heard. Why wouldn't they just unredact just the stuff to get Trump if it was conclusive? Do you understand? They can do that. They've been doing stuff like that. So that's just kind of some thinking on it. And why conclusive? Why is that mattering? Because notice how much of this is speculative. I mean, I notice how uneducated most people are, and myself too, but as people are caring about this, I'm doing this show. I'm like, okay, let's crack open some of this and see what people are talking about. I try and line up some of the facts with what my callers say. Sometimes I'm like, you guys actually don't know anything about this. You're like, there's videos of babies being raped, which is like stuff that people are saying in my chat. And it's actually very, very, what's it called? Very misdirecting and just kind of made up conjecture here. Like it's not a very sober way of talking about this. And they report on this. I mean, you just have to read the articles, folks. Are you guys just calling me on headlines? They tell you about what's like unreleased. What's the so-called unreleased stuff and the files out there. Then we'll get to calls here. They're talking about those files. What's the unreleased stuff here? I've tried to kind of outline it a little bit for you guys. For those, because we got people who have the complete wrong thinking about this. I mean, they think there's a Rolodex of people's line item. I've said this before, of elites and celebrities and who they bought, what underage prostitute they bought, or what child this is what they're saying in my chat, child that was raped. But it was just some here, just for you, ABC News. You might find this interesting. What was it? Yeah, wait, does it start here? Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI in February released what was then described as the first phase of the declassified Epstein files. The initial release, which was delivered to a group of prominent right-leaning influencers and journalists, included 341 pages of documents related to the disgraced financier. But 118 pages were duplicates. Vast majority of the documents were previously made public through the prosecution of Epstein's former associate, Ghislaine, through the civil lawsuits, including the flight logs from Epstein's plane, a redacted version of Epstein's so-called black book of contacts, and a heavily redacted 7-page list of masseuses. We've been through some of this. It's kind of people are a lot more aware of these things. There's not much to investigate, it seems, when you put it like that. You understand? There's not much more to investigate. It's done. The only newly released document in Phase 1 which received little public attention was a 3-page catalog of evidence that appears to be an accounting of evidence seized during the searches of Epstein's properties back in 2019 and all that. Let's see what else. The Little Notice Index offers a roadmap to the remaining trove of records that the administration has declined to release, including logs of who potentially visited Epstein's private island, records of a wiretap of Maxwell's phone. So you understand, like, there's not even any purported videos. They say that they have. You could say, well, Nick, I mean, they have these hard drives, CDs, and they had all these cameras. Well, that's just conjecture. And to sit there and to say, hey, they have videos of raped children, and it's just not a clear way of talking about it. Okay. And what else? Simply about this, to summarize, and then we'll get to calls. There's no secret client list, government-held Rolodex that catalogs these elites and all that. What exists is a mix of court documents, flight logs, seized materials, and victim testimonies, right? All's been done. Some very public, some very, very vocal, naming names, a bunch of them. If you remember, the most vocal survivor, they call her, Virginia Giuffre. She named a whole bunch of high profile figures. Whatever. But a whole bunch of these, they were all just simply acquaintances. They're simply just going around. It's a lot of conjecture, and it's a lot of, let me just put people in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? And you can say all this other stuff about it. And so I find that fast. I find that interesting. That I find that pretty interesting. It's all to tie it back to the statement about being conclusive. It seems like that's what the big attack is here. Let's just tie him up. Just release a little bit more. And why won't you release this? It seems quite plausible that it's what he said. We don't want to get these people mixed up. It's not all quite fair. It's a lot of conjecture. And a lot of my viewers are not aware, and I'm getting a little educated here. We might have to do something on this. on how thorough some of this stuff was. But anyways, let me just move on. I think. Yeah, I think that's the point on being conclusive. Like, that's what this push is for. I mean, unredact that so that we could see that he was on some flight log. If I'm the administration, I'm like, yeah, this would be look at the emotional public. They would crucify us, and they would not understand. And you've heard me. This is too far for some. This is like crazy. But hey, I don't know. I think it's Christian. I think I can see the man's actions, words today, and what are we all doing anyways, right? We're judged with the words and actions of people. And you think you're so much better saying, but the past matters. Past actions matter. Past actions might signify future is the best tell of what might happen in the future. But also not. Okay, I'm living here and I see him how he is. I don't need him to be I'm not even considering what he did all those years ago. Whatever it may have been. But that's somewhere else maybe. For all of you. I think that's it on this. The files. Okay, let's move on. Calls 888-775-3773. Super chats and all that. We'll get to all of you. But I want to get to Robert. Thanks, Robert. You're on the air. Kansas, you're on the air.
Hey, Nick, I saw in chat here that Ozzy Osbourne has passed away, and kind of a white history moment where, that guy did what he did. And you know how high you would have to be, Nick, to bite the head off a bat? You would have to be like Zazen level, right? You would have to be up there.
Have you ever been on stage?
Have I ever been on a stage?
Yeah. To an adoring crowd?
Yeah, I've
I hear it's electrifying.
I've gone onto
maybe
a
like
stage
drugs.
at a Tool concert and jumped off of it into the crowd, yeah.
Oh, really? A Tool concert?
Yeah, I've been to many Tool concerts, but I remember when I was much younger, I ran up there.
Tool.
They were letting us do it. The security, everybody's letting
yeah,
us do
yeah.
it.
I remember doing stuff like that a little bit. Well, not stage diving, but definitely just crowd surfing. You smack the guy, smack the guy next to you, go up, and then he puts his knee, and you jump, and then people you force people to catch you. That's how you properly. I mean, that's how I learned.
Yeah, you can get really hurt too, bro. Like, there's things about them concerts. I mean, you just gotta be careful. Anyway, I called in, Nick, to talk about something. Maybe I know you're kind of a smart guy, and so I just kind of wanted to give this information, and maybe you can look it up and tell me something else later. But there's something called, and my topic to Derek was Christianity. And have you ever heard of a rune, Nick? Like, there are certain shapes, kind of like hieroglyphs, but they're like Nordic European symbols.
I'm familiar. I've seen stuff like that, runes.
And there's a rune called an elk sedge. It's also called an algiz or algiz, I think is how you say it. It's an algiz. It's basically, if you look up an elk sledge rune or an algiz, ALGIZ.
This is scary.
You'll see a shape or a symbol that they're, there you go.
Have I been propagandized to think this is scary?
No, sir. It's not scary. It's just ancient writing.
It's just ancient they have white, possibly.
Yeah, ancient white writing. But you see the elk sedge or the, what's called the, there you go, you got it, or the algiz.
Yeah.
It's basically, if you notice how the shape of this thing, if you were to turn it over completely and put a circle around it, right, so you encapsulate it, you would have what's called the peace sign.
Oh.
Right? So just totally inverted, meaning the peace sign is demonic.
Wait, what?
Is what I mean. So if you look at the Christian cross, right, my topic is Christianity.
Uh-huh.
So if you look at these shapes that we're showing now and you break those arms, see that what that
they're rainbow. Look, they made it into rainbow peace signs.
Yeah. But what that represents,
right.
The rune represents a man standing up tall with his hands in the air, worshiping God.
Who, the cross?
Well, no. The cross is broken down, right? So the cross, they broke the arms down to level, right? And then the peace sign is completely inverted. That means peace with evil is what that means. We're going to collude with evil. That's what that means.
Whoa, man.
And so
is this like
the rune
actually true?
Yeah, there you go.
Like this is actually where the peace sign actually does come from, the algaes?
Do you see how Jesus' hands are spread up and out towards the Father God? You see how his hands are up? That represents a man with his hands up towards God. And then they broke it down where his hands are at least level.
Who did that?
Across the fallen angels that rule this world, sir. What do you mean, who did that? And
because
then they broke it
I want to
all
know
down.
if this is like something that you kind of piece together, or like, is there like actual like, is there such a thing?
No.
Is there such a thing as an etymology for symbols? And,
no, Nick,
and
listen,
is there
I
a
made all this
connection
up,
actually from the peace symbol to the algaes? I just want to know.
No. I'm so sick of this shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I made all this up, brother. I made it all up. There's no peace sign. There's no cross. There's no rune. I mean, what are you talking about? I made it up.
I just want to know if it was like I'm simply asking because you know how words. Maybe you're just misunderstanding me. Look, you know how like words have a history, right?
Yes,
an etymology, and they came from another word, and I'm just, is there a similar traceable history here that you're talking, or have you pieced this together kind of more creatively, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. I'm just saying, I'm just asking if you can clear that up for me.
No, I'm just making it all up.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted you to say.
Just me.
All right, so,
yeah,
okay, so why is this important, man? You really think the symbol is of the cross is broken down? I mean, it's a symbol is what you want it to be. No, it's how you see it.
If you were a fallen angel,
is that a little communist?
Well, no, if you were a fallen angel and you could do nothing to God because he cast you out, and all you could do is destroy his creation, right? You would take people from being, what is it called, dominion over the earth, right? So if you're a man and you have dominion over the earth, and the fallen angels, because that's the thing, is I actually believe in God, Nick. I think that's the difference between us, is I know that there's fallen angels.
So do you have dominion?
Well, we did.
No, do you have dominion?
Man had dominion. We had many wars. We had a civil war here in America.
Do you, Robert, have dominion, right? You said you believe in God. That's the difference between us. Yes, and your symbols and all your symbols and knowing about this maybe even helps you somehow. So do you have dominion? Do you have it?
I have as much dominion over my own life as I have, Nick. I'm getting better.
How much dominion is that?
Well, I mean, whatever it is, sir. And yes,
is it total?
Is it total?
Yes.
Well, sir, I still consume alcohol.
And so knowing that, why would you want to? Why go around saying I have dominion and I believe in God? This is what I'm getting at, and it's not a personal thing. It's just call it skepticism, call it what you want, but we're getting to the matter. We're getting to the heart of the matter here, which is: do you believe in God? Is your life changing? And when you tell me about these symbols and all that, and you're like, Nick, the symbol was turned upside down, and we were supposed to be the symbol that was up with the hands outstretched and praying. And it's just like, Robert, you can do that right now. Why don't you just do it? And it's like,
no, you got it,
so when I hear something like that, I realize, you know what, these symbols are crap.
Well, no, I'm just glad you're so smart, Nick. It helps. It helps, having a smart guy to talk to. But yeah, dude, I still.
What do you think about that?
I lust after hate and other grown women. Right?
What do you think about the symbols not helping you have dominion?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, man. I'm talking about mankind and what we are called to do by God, and that there are apparently other forces here that have taken over mankind through many a world war, right? They call literally everyone that fought against the devil is called evil now, whether it's the Confederates, Japan, Germany, whoever. Satan is just taking over the world, and he's destroying what you would call Christianity, or
but he starts in the minds and hearts of men, And I think if you just begin, I think we'll all find.
Man. No, it's not man, dude.
My
You
whole,
guys keep
yeah, in
calling
your mind,
man
it starts in the individual, the
Yeah.
foothold, the foothold, because it has to coalesce, granulate together into the entirety of Satan's will, if I may put it in such words, right? But the foothold is in the mind. Look, and you may not believe that, but put it like this. I just wanted to say this to end this for the viewers and all that. I mean, I just think we'll all find a lot more success if we just pay attention to what we're focused on. And it's like, is what we're focused on helping us, or is it crazy? That's it.
Well, Nick, I really take umbrage. I really don't like when you and Jesse and everyone else says that mankind is evil. Mankind is not evil. Mankind is weak. The fallen angels that rule this world are evil, sir. And the fact that you don't even think they're real is a real blind spot for you. Calling
I'm
men
not saying any of that. I'm just
evil,
saying
men are stupid.
what we're focused
men are
on.
stupid and weak. That's what men are. They're not evil.
I mean, that sounds
if
pretty
mankind
evil.
was evil, hey, listen, boy. If mankind was evil,
you got to calm
you'd
down,
be crawling
Robert.
through ashes.
I think I've been
You'd be
quite kind to
crawling
you.
through ashes. All right. You think men are evil? Men, you stand on the shoulders of men, sir. Men are not evil. Men built this world. There is an evil here, though.
If
But
men
it's
were
not us.
so God sees all these men as good, you're saying?
I'm just saying, Nick, that
Does God see all these men as good?
I'm saying
They
that
may
you
have built all
stand
these
on the
things you're saying.
shoulders.
That's true, but I'm asking you, does God see those men as good?
We all stand on the shoulders of good, great men who built this world.
All
for
those
us.
men you're talking about that built the things, I won't deny any of it. Does God see those men as good?
Does God see something? God can see your heart.
But
that's
does
for
he
sure.
see those men as
You
good?
can't
Does
hide
he see men as good?
as good.
Yeah.
I don't even think God wants good. He wants warriors. That's what he wants. He's fighting a war against
So you don't
evil.
know if he sees them
That's
as
what he
good.
wants. Good. What does that mean? Good.
I mean, that's what
I'm
you
as
said.
good
You're
as I
saying that
am,
they're
Nick.
good. You're
You're as
saying
good
that
as
we're
you
on
are.
the
You're a
soldiers
good-
of good people. They're good,
You have
right? But it's like
You're a good-
you're trying to say that. You're trying to pay me as trying to be bigger than someone who built this nation and all that. It's like those are all great things. They may have even been led by God in some way. But I'm asking you, it's like I know why you can't answer, because you know that God doesn't see us as good. We're fallen, even as great as we can do amazing things, and you know that you know the answer to that. And so don't get mad at us for saying what God is saying, that we're evil in that way. But anyways,
I'm not
Robert,
mad at
appreciate
you,
the
brother.
conversation.
I'm not mad at you, Nick. You let me come on your show. I appreciate it, sir.
Of course,
and
man.
I just wanted to get that out there too about that rune and what a cross is and what a peace sign is. And if you can connect those shapes together, you'll see that it is just fallen angels trying to take down mankind, trying to get us to cooperate and agree with the satanic evil of the world. You know, marry men and have sex with kids and whatever they want to do, right? Like, it's just they are trying to destroy the image of God. That's all it is, man. And once you figure that out, you'll see. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll be like, oh, wow, yeah.
I appreciate your call, sir. Call me again.
Yeah, they're after men, right? After men, and then they're
Big time.
You know,
yeah. So why let the world affect you that way? You're supposed to be men, right?
And a man,
Appreciate
a man
that, Robert.
standing up with is a man standing up with his hands in the air compared to a man whose hands.
You already
are
said that. Thanks, Robert. Take care.
Compared to a man's whose hands.
All right. I had to let him go. I had to let you go, Robert. You already said that. Hey, 888-775-3773. Let's use the tech, folks. Gave it a little bit of a phaser there, okay? You know, phaser effect, like it's kind of like when when you had that like tube as a kid, it's like a plastic tube and you flip it around and it goes wow. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a phaser effect. Okay, I'm not generating any sounds. I'm still low tech here, going. So okay, you know, that's just so you know. What came first, the phaser effect, and then people making it like with the sound with their mouth, or were people going around going like, and they're like, let's like make that an audio effect? What do you think? What happened first? Did the audio synthesis did it simply? This might be a little too in the clouds for you. Did it simply describe something that's already there, or did we create something? Buy knit a soundboard. I technically have one. I just gotta like. I have it in the mode for everybody else. You know, if I switch it to the mode, to the other mode. Okay, look, just forget about that. 888-775-3773. We got some lovely supporters. I do want to say some of these super chats, I think I want to do that now. Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you for the continued support, man. I appreciate all the coffees, man. We got some beautiful coffees here. Beautiful super chats. Beautiful super chats. From Gregatron, man, thanks for the support. We got Carver, man. It's nice to see you on this early show. I'm not going to sit here and promise things, Carver. It's just nice to see you at this early time. Carver says, the Vatican agent silenced Kyle. He knew too much. How are we going to know about the Vatican secrets? Kyle! Birdie Bob Bryant says, we love this anchor, baby, right? Man, thanks for the support. Erga Lunas, shout out to you, no message. And another one from Carver. Turn the peace sign upside down, and it's the devil's pitchfork. I can't handle all these symbols, man. I'm trying to be a Christian. I can't even drink a Monster energy drink. Not that I even like that. Monsters, I wouldn't even take a sponsor from you. I shouldn't even say such things. But look, it's just not a good taste. But look, they say you turn it upside down, it's an evil symbol. Amazing. Hey, sweet Amy, thanks. Let's see here. What else going on? Then we got more stuff here. Jules, glad you've been liberated. I won't say that. But anyways, symbols, spells, holograms, hallucinations, genjutsus. They're just in the mind, no? They've existed from the beginning. It's true. Doesn't the Bible... Wait. Divination, enchantments, witchcraft. Deuteronomy 18:10. Let no one be found among you who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or casts spells. Now, I don't know what kind of translation that is, folks. Exodus speaks of a sorceress, apparently. Imagine that. It's all true. It's mind games. But whatever. Let's see here. Amazing. Let me see. Where were we? Okay, yeah. Let's get back into some of the content here. We had some... Let me move all this. Thank you for the super chats. Buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Amazing. Thanks for all the coffees. And my Rumble viewers, thanks for being members and being supportive. Okay, so I wanted to get into a little bit of this here with the men and the women. You know, they're saying, I mentioned this briefly, I think, about the sad state of today's dating world, as some are saying. Some are describing it as that. And I've been seeing a number of posts kind of like this, describing what's wrong with men. You know, are basic acts of care from men becoming rare? Or are my expectations outdated? A sincere question, I think. Where did that basic setting go? The one where men naturally show care and attentiveness toward women. I mean, screw the salad. I could buy my own food. But what about the free stuff? Holding the door, offering to carry a heavy backpack, giving up a jacket if it's cold out. Just simple, thoughtful things. Why do we have to ask for these basic gestures now? Or am I being unreasonable? Are my expectations just too high for today's world? I mean, I'm sure the mind is going and gathering a number of reasons why this could be this way. The glaring for me is just the expectation. I mean, it's hard to say that even all those shows of care, attentiveness, holding the door, I mean, I'm not saying they weren't simple, thoughtful things, but they also kind of just trained. And trained is fine. It's like, yeah, you have to train a good society because it's not everybody who's going to see for themselves. It's very rare, actually. And it's fine. You have a society that's cordial, but it was a different world a bit, no? It was not just simple niceties. They were a part of a tapestry here of responsibilities and deals and unsaid deals, put it that way. It's all, you could call it transactional. It's whatever. But look, you got to wonder, I mean, it might be a little bit more obvious for people, for some. I mean, the younger generations. Why are so few men approaching women? Says the woman going around having sex with 1,000 men. What is this woman? Bonnie Blue. You know, I heard her say something about, you know, she's actually the perfect representation of feminism or something like that. This is what we fought for. In a way, I don't know if she meant it to be biting commentary. It has its honesty, don't you think? But this, I can't even play this clip, whatever. Do I not have audio? Wait, actually, I'm gonna need that audio. Hold up. That actually would be nice. Huh. Wait, hold on, folks. Oh, no, wait. Is it? Hold on. What a mess. I don't know if we really need to, but look, they're wondering, like, what is going on? Why aren't these men approaching? Something is going on. I mentioned this the other day. A bit of a gaslight, don't you think? Just turning around saying, what happened here, guys? Come on. As if there wasn't, right, decades of all this stuff about men and women. Now, I'm bringing this up because there's a bit of a debate going on X, on the internet right now. And this guy, you know him, Matt Walsh, got in on it a bit here, responding to Andrew Tate, big bad boy of the scene. He's like, I'm going to have sex with women, and then I'm going to be a alpha male and not marry or whatever and do what I want and make money. Like, that's a crude, terrible representation of that guy. I mean, I don't have any problem with him. That's not what I meant, but there was a big thing about I guess polygamy. The guy was, I think, being pretty explicit about saying, yeah, have multiple women, impregnate them just to make babies. And I guess I don't really need to play this unless Bill's out there. If you see him out there, I wonder what it is. It literally was just going for Hake. What could it be? I must be doing something wrong here, folks. I'm doing something. I'm doing something wrong, possibly, but it's not too important. He just kind of speaks on this a bit. Now, I guess I kind of need him speaking, actually. It's okay. It's not that important. He's saying, like, that marriage is important. He comes at it from, like, I think a Catholic view as well, or a Christian view, saying how important it is to be married and how you should be doing it, even if it's difficult, You should be doing it that you should be doing it because it's the greater good. He puts it like that. And he responds to Andrew Tate saying, hey, this polygamy stuff. Yeah, I mean, it has been seen with animals. Yeah, you look at the animal world and you'll see them be animals all day and rear children, right, communally and stuff like that. He said all this stuff about just look at single parent households. And how a lack of a father in the home, how that has destroyed things. And left, I'm not getting audio out of Studio 8. Not sure what happened. I hope I'm not doing something dumb here. Bill, appreciate it. You know what? You know how I fix Hake, by the way? I toggled the audio thing on the Matrix. That's all I did. From 2 to 1. Or I either went from 1 to 2 or to 2 to 1. And so I found that interesting. Thanks, Bill. And so look, he's telling people it's important, do the hard thing, do it for the greater good, saying how these single-parent households, kind of relating it to being polygamous and having a non-traditional, right, non-monogamous, and biblically what? Marriage, one man, one woman, and the havoc that wreaks, right? But a couple of, I guess here is just my comments, but one thing that strikes me with some of this stuff I see it a lot from the right-wing Christians. They'll be calling it the greater good and all this. There's this focus, right, on this. I almost find it a strange focus on hey, find a wife, make some children, right? Tell me what you think. Oh, thank you. Gonna shut it off for a sec. Let me see here. Oh, I lost that. Is the window still there? Where's my mail? Oh, it's right over here. It pushed over here. Thank you. He's saying it's the greater good. One thing that I was just wanted to say, it's not. Let me just say this first. I'm not telling you to be polygamous. I don't necessarily think. I think it seems there's actually. Now, I didn't grow up like studying monogamy. I didn't have to, right? We grew up in this world. I'm not going to LARP around and play barbarian polygamist. It seems like the real challenges in a home is. Sorry, am I back on? Yeah. Ooh, sorry, folks.
So the children.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't really need the video anymore right here. Glad we have audio. I just want to say that I find the focus on finding a wife, finding these children, a little bit strange. I mean, these things are supposed to come about naturally. And then when they say, get married young, do it fast, do it now, these things are supposed to come about naturally. And then they'll even add the God in there and the Christianity to it. Like I don't know, God is telling you to go get married. It seems to me like it's a natural thing, okay, when you have the place to do it, the stuff to do it, right? It all kind of comes about naturally. And I'm not saying you have to have a certain amount. I think that's also been another thing, right? This warped view on what you need to have a child and do these things, how expensive it would be, etc. That being said, it's not just $0. It's so anyways, look, I'm not that's a kind of a different point maybe about planning and all that. But it is, don't you find it a little strange to be focused on that? Those things come about naturally. As you work on your life, you build what you're supposed to build, what you're supposed to do, right? And so let it happen naturally. Like, just do it for the greater good. I mean, following this natural theme, there's almost a natural response happening here, and for better or for worse. Put it like this simply. It's the gaslighting. And here, I don't like using it, but we're using the females. Maybe I shouldn't use the females' words even to just make a point. Maybe I don't even have to do that. But put it like this: it's women basically showed us that the Bible is true. The spirit of Eve is in women today, and they are egotistical. Evil will break apart a family for feelings because her way. And she is empowered by the state in every way. And then they turn around and we saw this, right? This was seen, right? We grew up in this kind of world. It's like, oh, Rosie, these are their victims, and they're just so delicate, and the problems in the home is angry men, right? It turns out they're quite cunning. They're quite cunning, and why they break apart families is way more egotistical and to hurt the man than people give it credit for. It's the vast majority. So knowing this, right? So this mask is kind of shown, right? The years go on, the generations get worse. The women are like now open now. Like it's not, there's no dressing it up. They're like, no, we'll kill your baby if we don't love you. We'll take half. And we are being. It's just not enough for us and us. And you know, ask more of the man. Ask of him to. Why aren't you opening the doors? You even saw the post. I don't need you to buy me salad. I don't need you to buy me food. I could do that. Just open the doors. So where in that post I just showed you, where was her part of the deal, right? Her part of the bargain. But Nick, love is not a bargain. Marriage is not a bargain. I mean, that's for the woman who can live around in fantasy world. And she says it right here. She's like, screw the salad. I could buy my own food. So then why hold the door? Why do anything? Why are we doing any of it? You want more of the men. You want more from them. And so you understand what I'm saying here? Like the gaslighting. So the mask fell, and then they turn around and say, guys, why aren't you marrying them? Just make it happen, guys. I mean, we're right here. You know, where's the repentance? And you know what? It's not like I care. If you ask me, it's not like I care. It's just an interesting, just responding to this. But I don't really care. I'm not really sitting around waiting for women to repent. Hey, where are the, come on, ladies, time. No, repentance is for all people who want to live a good life, finally. And I'm not here wanting you to do it. Like, right, I'm not out here fighting for you to do that. So I don't really care. I'm just telling you, right? Oh, I want to get married. It's the great thing to do. It's the greater good. For who? Greater good for who? Do things naturally when it makes sense, when you have the money to do it, when you have, you know, it doesn't need to be that crazy, but who's telling you to pull this trigger and just get right? That sounds crazy. So it's natural. It's more of a realistic, practical setup. Right, that it's temporally placed and costs things, and that has some planning to it, I guess. But it's just this pulling the trigger. It's a little crazy. It's for what greater good? You can't make anything greater good. You got to just work on you, and it just becomes easy. It's like, okay, well, look at what I built, and there seems to be a woman I believe to be a great mother. I'm doing it fine. So it's just a little bit on the focus on all that, a little strange. And then the gaslighting with the women turning around saying, hey, come on, guys, just marry us. Why? Repent. How about repent? And I don't care personally, but hey, y'all, you want to do something out there, maybe something to pay attention to, right? Personally, I don't care because the message that I'm trying to spread, thanks to Jesse and all that, is for all people. And it's like, if you want it, you want it. And you can if you want to. And that's men, women, everybody. So what else? That's just a little funny thing about this Matt Walsh thing on marriage. I want to get to my calls. I do appreciate all my calls here. Thanks for filling up the lines here. 888-775-3773. I think that's it on that. Yeah, let's get to Ardene, Colorado. How you doing, Ardene? Appreciate your call.
Hi, I'm doing okay. I was going to talk to you about...
Sorry, Ardene, is this your first time calling me?
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah,
very cool. Well, appreciate your call. Go ahead.
And, I was listening to you and what you were talking about with the anti-marriage thing. I was actually going to call about Epstein, but I wanted curious about this. Why are you so anti-marriage? I don't understand.
I'm not anti-marriage.
Well, you're just talking like. Well, I understand totally. You can't really force it unless you want to order like a bride to purchase from another country or something. But it's like I don't understand. People are always looking. People have a natural.
If you allow me to just clear something quick up,
just
allow me to clear this really quick. I do consider myself a Christian. I believe marriage is a man and a woman, and I think that's the right way and the fine way to build a family and all that. So just want to make that clear. Yeah.
Well, I'm not looking for the marriage basically to build a family. Some people choose it, some people don't. I completely understand that. I completely respect that too. It's everybody's choice. You know if you're a good parent, and you know if you're not going to be one. I have a brother actually. My brother lives in California. Him and his wife, they decided because they had his wife had a very traumatic childhood. She felt she didn't have the capability or the compassion to be a great mother. They chose as a couple not to have children, which are really wealthy now, which is really an odd combination. But usually if you don't have kids, you have money. I speak as a parent. I know this one. But it's like marriage is, I mean.
You say you know when you'd be a good parent.
Yeah.
People, you just know that?
If you've had, some people don't know. Some people do know. I mean, my sister-in-law, she's in, she graduated UCLA, and she has a doctorate from USC and UCLA for psychology. She's very well educated with what is expected, what's good for parents, the quality.
But you're saying that everybody knows if they'd be a good parent, and then you said some people might know when they would know.
Some people know. Some
Did
people
you know?
know. Some people live there. Huh? Did I know? Yes, I did know.
Ardene, it's just a little. Don't you find that comment a little funny because doesn't every parent say that?
Say that they're going to be a good parent?
Yeah, let's
the
be
majority
real.
of parents
Come on,
do.
let's
The
be
majority
real.
of people do. Yeah,
all parents say, you know what, I think I'd be a good parent. I think I'd be a fine parent. I think I'd be a good parent.
With that, and I hate to say but with that comment, some people are not meant to be parents, and we do know that one. Well,
that's
there.
for sure. But
some people should never be a parent
because
they don't have.
It's a funny commentary because it's like if someone were to hear us talking right now, couple of hands gossiping maybe a bit. I don't know. It seems maybe a little bit up in the diner, and they're hearing us talk like, oh, it's like look at how crazy the world is, and they're so crazy, and it's like not everybody deserves to be a parent. You'd almost think, the way the world's breaking down, it's like 50% bad parents, 50% good parents, but that's so not true. Ardene, let's be real. The vast majority of parents say they'd be great parents, and pretty much everybody comes out with some problems.
Oh, 100% people come out with problems. So
where are the good parents?
From the childhood, definitely. There's parents that struggle. There's parents that outright just do a terrible job at it. There's parents that come out of it pretty good as far as what they were able to do for their children.
And so what's a good parent?
It's a spectrum. It's basically, what's a good parent?
Yeah.
Somebody that doesn't have their children in jail. Another one is basically somebody who's just basically bottom line loves and protects your child when they're growing up. You're there. You're attentive to your child. You're there taking care of them as another human being. It's the greatest thing in the world to be a parent.
Some of the nastiest, most psychopathic killers and the sadistic murderers and whatever in the world had the most like attentive and their parents ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That's where the parenting plays into it. The parenting plays into it. And the fact of your mental stability, which is a lot of it is biological. There is abnormalities within your psyche. They've been proven it that you don't maintain well. Sociopaths, narcissists. I have a few narcissistic friends. I really can't be around them too much. They're too toxic.
Are you a Christian?
Am I Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah.
You know what you made me think of isn't there somewhere in this isn't there like a passage or some story about how like even evil demons or even evil parents give their children like food to eat? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
I find that passage. You're making me think of that a little because it's like you're saying, oh, parents that a good parent just will keep their kids out of jail, be attentive, and then you said love and
that was
love
tongue in
and be
cheek
there.
a little bit, yeah.
And you know what? That's a great love. That word love is. I mean, you just can't go wrong with that summary. It's like one of those cheat words almost. It's almost cheating. It's like duh. Well, of course, but it matters.
Yeah, it's a catch-all
it starts
now,
mattering. It starts mattering exactly what you mean, right? Because as we've gone through it, we had a whole bunch of nurturing parents raise killers. Okay, and so that's why you're making me think of it a bit. Parents. I mean, there's this passage. Don't you find it a little interesting? I mean, isn't it so true that even it speaks to our misunderstanding of evil and our standards better, I think is a better word, our standards of evil, because even the evilest parents give their children food to eat and make sure that they're fed. They follow the law and they make sure that, hey, don't go this way and do that because you'll go to jail. Yeah, that's the most basic. That's evil people do that. What do you think about that?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. There's people, and the wanting to share your life with somebody. It is as a parent, it is very demanding job. You don't have your 2 a.m. quiet times. You don't have that when you have kids. Basically, you have to be the type of person that's willing to give to another human being without asking for anything in return. If you're not that type of person, it's going to be a struggle for you being a parent.
Have you ever met anybody like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you that kind of parent?
No.
No. I appreciate your honesty.
I actually, with my parenting, what I did with raising my children went to a higher academic. They did not, neither of them. Well, my daughter is doing college now. She does college now. My son did not go to college. They went out instantly, started working. Well, not instantly, but within time frame. My son became an excavator. My daughter, she's into education and all that. And with that, what I did in putting on a child for my children, I raised them. Basically, I was Christian-wise, we were going to church twice a year, Easter and Christmas. Whoa, okay, yeah. They were. My daughter was baptized in a Catholic church. Yada yada. We went there for a while. Yada. Pulled away from it. Did non-denominational. I failed basically in the education probably a lot. Should have pushed it more.
So if we agree,
what?
Pardon.
Okay,
I
and then
appreciate the
far
details
as
here
sports,
a little bit, Ardene, a little bit of your life a bit there, if I may. If we having this conversation here, we've arrived to a couple of things like, if we can't be sure that what creates a good, what is good parenting, and how do you like raise a good child? If we can't be sure that it was all the things that we mentioned so far, because even the nurturing can end up this way, even being two parents in the household can end up this way or that way. So how can we determine this then? What is the answer then? How do we know when we have raised good children in a sense? How do we know then?
You have to have good insight. You have to be honest and good insight in yourself, and your partner that you pick to raise the children with has to be a person of the same.
Let me be a little clear. Your children can end up, and maybe it doesn't have to be necessarily yours, but the children can end up as excavators, as professionals, and this or that. But as we've seen, and throughout this conversation, have laid out how you could still have, internal problems and things go a certain way. So if being an excavator is not the determining thing, if having a nurturing mother or an attentive parent, if those aren't the things that denote a good child, you raise a good child, then what is? What is it then?
The luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw.
You work on the fly. Because as an example, I'm 70. I'm going to be 74 in October. But with that, I grew up in Simi Valley. I'm sure Simi Valley, California. Yay.
That's right.
And
White flight.
we used to go. Huh? Yeah, the white flight one, yeah.
Where
And we used to
where
go
your
to...
grandparents where your grandparents made sure that you had a nice place to grow up in. Shout out Ardene's
No,
grandparents.
actually, they stayed in the valley. They stayed in Pacoima, but it's like the armpit of San Fernando Valley. No, I gotta watch that one. I can't say that one. Well, they do call it Rancho Pacoima now, but it's like, okay, seriously. But I just, with that, I used to ride horses many moons ago, like in 67, 66. Used to 67, 66. And we used to go horseback riding at Spawn Ranch, where Charles Manson was.
Oh,
Yay!
wow.
Before he made his grand entrance into the psyche of everybody in San Fernando Valley, or in the Valley area. Now, with his clan of women that were there, and they were up there when we'd go horseback riding, and I think we'd go on the trails up there. They used to rent horses up there. That's what they did at Spawn Ranch. And they were all the derelicts. I did not know of them because I was still in high school. But they were derelicts sitting around there. But these women the women that were his girls, came from middle-class groups. You don't know how. And then they ended up being in jail for the rest of their lives for murder, for Sharon Tate and La Biancas. And it's like, whoa, and it's like, it thinks you have to put into your children the emotional strength to be able to choose bad from good choices in their lives. They have to be able to make those choices. They rely on the strength you put into them. If you don't put that strength in them, they're going to fall victim, and they're going to be Charles Manson girls.
You're getting at something that I care about here, and it's this internal world. And so I really wasn't even coming at you with like, I have the answer, Ardene. So if it's not becoming an excavator or going to college, how do you know you have good children? It's not like I got the answer and I'm about to hit you over the head. So it's more of like, I think I at least directionally would think it's none of those things, but should they handle the world, how their internal world helps them handle the world. I think it's at least a place to start. If I imparted anything to my children, should I have them, I would think, and this again is just thinking and planning. Who cares about all that? But I would think it may be something. I would think I'd start there if I think about imparting anything good. Imagine thinking you're good, imparting anything good. But if it's anything, I think I'd start there.
I know one thing in particular. When I was in education and all that in my younger years, I noticed with if there was a kid that was causing problems in the classroom, I guarantee the parents were a little pilled too. They're a little on the wacko side.
Yeah.
And nine times out of 10, the children will mimic, the children will copy the environment they're in. If they're being raised in a very somewhat, it's a spectrum basically, depending on the child. But if they're raised in a very dysfunctional environment, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be dysfunctional.
Can I ask you if this might be a bit of a strange question? It's definitely coming from nowhere nasty, but have you let go of your children in a sense?
Let go of them?
Yeah, because we're talking about being a good parent and all that. It's like I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And you could say, I think we could be honest here and say, well, where we were imperfect and all that. Not that you have to be specific, but that being said, at some point I have to imagine that at some point a parent must then even let go of their children. It's like, whatever I did, whatever it must have been, it's time for me to grow. It's time for me to live my life. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me stop. What do you think about that?
Definitely had a problem with that one. Definitely had a problem with letting go to my children. And I still hold on to them now. My son calls me every day and says when we're talking right now, he's trying to call me. It's like, okay, I don't want to talk to you right now. But it's like...
Do you tell him?
No, I guarantee. Huh? What?
Do you guarantee what?
Moms do not let go of their kids. All the moms that I know, we don't do it. We may say we have to. We will eventually. We do.
But look how your son ended up.
Things. I know.
He's calling you every day.
You got that right.
You don't
I know.
even want him to.
You don't. I know, and it's like I don't answer the phone. I said, "Oh God, it's him again."
That's right.
But
nice.
Do
you tell him?
I am victim to not. Huh?
Do you tell him?
Do I tell him? Yeah.
Like, stop
Yeah.
calling me.
I said,
Grow
stop
up.
calling me. You're blowing up my phone. I know, Mom, but
Do you get a little frustrated?
Oh, Mom, okay. Oh, God, yes.
Oh, okay.
But he's my son. And that's what I told my kids. I said, no matter what you do for the rest of your life, I'm always going to be your mom. You're always going to be my kid. I'm never going to walk away from you, ever. And it's like, I mean, they can be in prison. I'm not going to walk away from them. They're my kids. How can I do that? How can I take a child from God and tell God that I'm going to raise this child the best I can, and then say, hey, he's made me mad, I'm leaving, God.
Where did you get that idea of love from? You seem to have, it's a totally married concept where it's like, it's my son, it's always going to be my son, so I'm never going to let him go.
Yeah.
And so that means you love him. But where did you get that idea that those two things are inseparable? You know, that they can't be disjointed actions, that they can't be separate things.
With that, it's the same way that I've justified marriage in my mind. Me personally, and I'm not judging anybody on this, for me to live within myself, I cannot even fathom it did cross my mind periodically with my previous husband, but there was never a divorce involved at all, ever. I promised God I would stay with this man through thick and thin, richer or poor, better or worse. That's it, over and done with. I promise God, that's it.
Oh,
same thing with the child. The child was given to me in a good, there was
But what made you put those two things together? Like, oh, I have to never let go of my son, and whatever that may mean in your mind, but never let him go.
Because
always
I
to
made
support
promises.
him. And that also means to love him. And if you stop doing that, that means you don't love him. How come those two things are connected in that way in your mind?
Because it's a promise that I made to God, me and God. I made a promise to him.
You promised to never promised to let your son call you and I don't know, take his call sometimes, but tell him, hey son, even though I don't want to take your call sometimes, I'll always be there for you.
Yeah. Other than him calling me again right now, it's like, God, really, seriously. But it's like, no, I put it that's the one commitment that when I got married, my one commitment was to be my husband's wife, to be a partnership here, to build a marriage together. And the other one was to be a mother, and I'm going to do it wholeheartedly, 100% what I can do.
You stopped being a mother when he was 3 years old. Then he was a man. And it was time to live life.
39, my God.
No, but I'm saying when he was 3
me.
years old, he was a man and ready and start time to live life.
No,
with his father.
Trust me, he wasn't.
What I'm saying is that role is done. That role is over. That role is over, and that just doesn't make sense to me that God would want you committed to any other person in this world besides being
committed to my
committed to your
union.
husband. But that doesn't mean what you think. Committed to your husband. It's
committed to my family. My family. Family was given.
God does not ask you to be committed to be stuck with somebody, and yet you're responsible for them. Do you feel you're responsible for your son?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I love him.
All right.
I love him. And I'll always be his mom. Yeah.
Always. That's over. Anything else you want to say? Talk about here before we go?
No, that's it. We don't need to talk about Epstein.
Call me again, Ardene. I will talk about that too. Right on.
Okay, talk
Appreciate
to you later.
your
Bye.
call, Ardene.
Bye.
Right on. 888-775-3773. He was a man at 3? Nick, 3? No, Nick, I gotta disagree. Look, it's time to go into the forest. What, didn't they get Leonidas? That's probably a fake story. I hear a lot of those Spartan stories are fake. But, right, 3 years old, throw him out into the cold. Throw him out into the cold with the wolves, okay? Now you're wolf boy. Now you're wolf man, okay? 3? He was a man at 3? What are you, crazy? We got Dean out of New Mexico, man. Appreciate your call, Dean. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
All is well, sir. Go ahead.
So I just want to clear up some things because I heard that you were engaged. Is that, or maybe you're married now, but I'm not sure.
No. That's misinformation.
Ooh, you were never engaged?
No.
God,
So engaged means like you say, hey, I'm going to marry you, and then we're going to get married on this date. And so from now till that date, we're this engaged thing. That's what that is, right?
Right, right.
I think I'll just skip that. I think I'll just like, hey, I'll just marry.
So you just gonna straight up just grab her and just take her down to the courthouse and just get married?
If it's time.
I mean, if you do that, hey man, more power to you.
You know, but not like with a rando, and it's not like I just met her.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how the
I might be wrong about
gonna,
this. Yeah, because there may be a tradition to that. I don't know. What do you guys think? But that's what I'm thinking. Sincerely, I think I'll skip all that. I've been in this. Anyways, go on. You were saying, go ahead.
I'm not gonna get on my knees and ask someone to marry me. That's kind of crazy to me.
Hell no.
But I mean, yeah, that's one thing. That's like crossing the line right there. So I mean, that's like giving them your power. You know, that's like
giving them your power. It might not getting engaged might be giving them their power. The ladies seem to really like that comment just now. That's making me nervous. They're like, right on, Nit. Yeah, you skipped that engagement. Good for you. You marry her.
Hey, I think getting married is giving away your power, period. So,
yeah, man, in a certain respect, in a certain sense. I mean, in today's in gynocracy America.
Yep.
What's it called? GOG. Gynocracy occupied government or something like that.
I forgot how it goes, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to continue the spread of misinformation if that was the case, because I thought you were engaged, but now that I know that, that's yeah.
We'll clear that up. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good start for me.
Nah, we skipping that. Why are you getting engaged?
Nah, I think at one point I wanted to. I mean, I didn't want to, but at one point there was a few prospects, but I want to make one thing clear also, is that I don't blame anyone for the failing of my relationships or how things could have turned out, because I mean, in today's age, and the way people are brought up, it's you know how they say, or I don't know if there's a saying, but I think the saying goes that you're not born with a manual, and so if your parents fail you, and they fail to infuse good manners in you and good traits, it's not the other person's fault for why they can't be the way you want them to be. So I don't think marriage is a good thing in general for a man, because there's just too many downfalls. That's what I believe. But I mean, if you want to get married, then I mean, who am I to stop you?
Yeah, I mean, and this is why I say this. It's not a focus at all. And that's really why I stand on that. I think I can stand on that. I don't think I have to go any further and say, oh, it's bad or you shouldn't do it. I think it's plenty enough to just say, don't make it your focus. You know, for me, right?
Yeah.
And then, you do what you want to do. But I think all I'm saying on that is when you mature in a number of other areas, which could be related, but really they're not romantic, and you're not working on relationships and women and a marriage and all that. When you mature in all these other areas, that becomes so much clearer and whatever. Like you learn even through that. So I don't know. It doesn't seem it should be the focus. And imagine, well, how could you even sincerely look into a young man's eyes and tell him to focus on marriage? I mean, you need to be aware and be able to just have a sort of mastery of yourself and the world around you a bit, and to be able to be empowered to make a better decision in that world. I mean, no one can make it for you, right? So I think it's a little bit of a snake oil to these people out here trying to give you the code on that anyways. The code on who to marry, what to say. That's more in that direction. What to say and how to make her obey. It's like, do you have the spirit of a man or not? Work on you, etc. That's a kind of a crude summary, but I find that a little bit of a snake oil anyways.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't really call to expand too much on marriage in general. I for one, I don't care for it. I just think it's overhyped. And to be honest with you, I don't know why anybody would want to get married anyways. Because I mean, what is a man and a woman benefiting from marriage? Like truthfully, like what would a man benefit from? I mean, I guess if the old traditions were still in place, then I guess he would benefit from, a woman giving him children.
That's right.
But
obeying.
There's nothing.
And she'd be like a woman. She would submit to him and like for real.
Yeah, for real.
And I guess before it even made economic sense, and it's not like she had a career and voting power. So we really are living in kind of just a modern thing. So you gotta be an individual more than ever, in my opinion. And it's like if you're gonna marry anyways and all that, it's just I just think you can't do it because someone else told you, because it feels like the right thing, because my Christianity told me. More than ever, you got to be an individual and aware of what you're doing. And so that's why I don't advise it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying, like, I think there are other things you can work on that will even make that, should you want to go down that road, make that more successful. But I can't give you that. I can't like give you the code. I can only kind of give you the direction here, like what is wrong with human nature, wrong with our desires, their desires. And that maybe will teach you a little something, right, on what to avoid.
Well, call me crazy, but most of the women that I've ever encountered, at least in my area, they all seem to be interested in polygamy. And
you said what? Say again? Who's interested in polygamy?
Most of the women that I've ever encountered, they always seem to be interested in polygamy. I think the thought of monogamy might I forgot her name. There was some I don't want to say the word. There was some weirdo streaming. I stumbled on it, and there was some chick, and she was like, "Men don't deserve monogamy." Blah 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 blah. And so I think that a lot of these women are just being led astray, and I don't even think they know what they really want. So. I don't know.
And that might even just be kind of an impression too, because I don't know if I gathered that from women. I think they want a guy to themselves, and it's kind of like the average thinking on that. Polygamy, it's kind of I don't know, trendy, and trendiness might have its foothold and hooks, but I think that's all it is so far. They gather from women they want a guy that they can hold down.
Yeah, until they see the other guy come along who's taller, more handsome, and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get married."
Maybe. I don't know if I get that. I don't know if you're even saying much. I'm not saying anything against or for. I'm following you, man.
I'm just saying that I don't think women. I think they know what they want, but I just think in today's society there's too much competition in terms of like back then we didn't have like back then when I was in high school I had a Nokia phone that had interchangeable faceplates, and I could play Snake, and that was pretty cool to me. And of having apps like Instagram and Facebook and being able to have a bigger outreach on people, it was never crossed my mind. So it's a different world, that's for sure.
Totally. So yeah, that's why that's why this concept of an idea of marriage, of believing in an image of something, I find it actually very interesting. You know, we're living in a funhouse kind of out of our minds. You know, out of images, we see long dresses and big families. We're like, that's what God wants us to do. And it's just images. We're just seeing memes and images, and it's like, what is marriage? What is it? What it was? You start kind of learning maybe the history. You're like, well, that doesn't exist today. And so, you know, it's just images in our minds of stuff. I find it strange to live from that. And that's also the reason why I can't really worry about much of what you're bringing up, because put it like this, in my mind, the world is going to make babies. They're people, man. They're just like people, and they're dumb, and they have desires, and they want to have sex, and they're going to make babies. And so I think when you put it like that, it's actually, when you put it like that, that it's actually quite easy to make babies, and people just want to, and it's just sex. It's so easy. Then there's something in the way, in a sense. So like, let whoever's supposed to be worried about that worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that. People are going to make babies. I seem to be waking up to another reality, which is love as it's been billed to us has been a false lie from my lifetime, and possibly from the beginning of time. And it's this lie that expecting things from each other, feeling offended by somebody else, feeling like somebody didn't do enough for you, feeling like you're not being loved by someone, that all that is not love. I'm waking up to this shattered reality. And so, yeah, maybe the world wants to argue on how to bring up the birth rates and what are we supposed to do to make sure men and women are going to come together. You know what? I don't care about that. Men and women are going to come together. I don't want to have. I'm seeing this false love, and I just don't want that. I don't want that.
Like false love, meaning
how do I describe this further?
Like
what we were taught is love. It's a transaction. It's like how she gets your false love by making sure she presents the perfect image. Like that's that's what we've been taught is love, and that's pretty much everybody. And so that's really for me the reality shattering is kind of a little different than like red pilled ideology. It's like we know the world has no love. Men, women, like we don't have love. We want stuff from each other. We get mad when we don't get it. We think we deserve this or that from other people. What an ego. And it's like when you hear stuff like that, you or maybe others think, well, then how do people get married, Nick? It's like, yeah, that's a great question. I'm here like pondering such a thing. It's like we don't have love. I'm just on that, really.
I'm trying to sum it down in terms of what Jesse would consider real love, and I know that he doesn't consider things to be real love if it's like having to do with your feelings, like superficial looks. Like I think for Jesse, like true love is like the truth, like finding the truth in things.
I think you're directionally correct, sir.
But
I want to ask him, but yeah, I think you're directionally correct.
But I didn't call too much to harp on that.
No problem.
I just wanted to know that. Okay, so look, hypothetically, you met a girl, and unbeknownst to you, she had over 1,000 bodies, and you know she seemed like this really cute, good girl, and you know she and then you guys had like a lot of rapport. You guys were hitting off real good, and then you know one night, you know, or whatever, one day you guys are chilling, and then she decided that you might be the one, and she busted out, and she's like, I have over 1,000 bodies, and would you still consider settling down with her if she was willing to change, knowing that she had over 1,000 bodies.
I'd ask her, why did you tell me such a thing? I'd be like, why didn't you just keep that a secret forever? Is what I'd say.
That's true. I mean,
because look, why? Because where would I go? Where do I get out? Like, honestly, man, because this is where I'm coming at it from. I'm not saying that you can't be scrutinizing, especially in the dating process. I'm not saying you can't. Very scrutinizing. That's fine. But at some point, at some point too. How much better are you than this person, right? But I have to be in the situation, honestly, because look, imagine a guy who has like no sexual experience at all, and him looking into my eyes and saying, "Hey, Nick, my girl just told me she has 1,000 bodies. Is it fine?" I'm not. You have to know for yourself, okay? You have to really know for yourself. But there is a point to be said about like what are you gonna judge? How long are you gonna judge someone's past? It's like that the 1,000 bodies doesn't make her any more evil than the next girl. Okay? You're gonna have the same problems because you're out there looking for the spirit of your mother. The 1,000 bodies is not what makes her evil. You can have the Christian girl with no bodies, but the evil will be there. She'll be. It could be a number of things. Okay, I guess I don't need to make up a scenario, but that's not the evil. That you come to find that the evil is subtle and is constant. It's not like an action. It's not like concentrated in this one moment. The evil is that you want stuff, that you desire things, that you're lying about things, that you have other motivations. Think about this. Marriage has a purpose to make children, in my mind, right? And that's the proper way to bring about a family. I think it's the Christian way. But even in that scenario, even in that setup, people want stuff. You're not marrying because you love each other and we have true love. You're marrying because it's a motivation and agenda. And that's fine. Maybe you're supposed to have a motivation and agenda for marriage and making children because it's like you're making children, you're building a family. But I do ask people to think about these things, right? So anyways, what was I saying here? Marrying 1,000 bodies. The evil part is deeper, man. But it's also I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying that you have to marry someone with 1,000 bodies. Like, that's not what I'm saying either. But go ahead. Just kind of speaking freely here.
Actually, I like what you said. It was coming from like a neutral standpoint. Like, you're not really judging the girl for her past mistakes. And that's how I see it too. I think at one point in my life, I used to judge like that because I was like, 1,000 or however many guys have seen her body and experienced it and whatever. But now that I'm more like in a mature place, I'm able to look past that. And I think as long as her heart is in the right place, like we all made stupid mistakes at one point in our life. And I think when people there's kids and they're say they're 16, 17 and they're making a lot of mistakes and they're sleeping around and what have you, and then they tragically, I don't want to say that tragically is like a.
What is having your heart in the right place? Sorry, but just because of time. What is this woman that would have her heart in the right place? Describe it.
Having her heart in the right place would mean, for me at least, wanting the best interest for both of you, and being able to put past mistakes aside and move forward and do things right.
Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds, I guess, right.
But
I don't know what else to say. It's just like, just because I'm not saying that just because like you don't judge her for 1,000 bodies in the past, and now she's saying I want to marry that means she has her heart in the right place. That's not what that means. And I guess you didn't quite say that exactly. You kind of were more general, like if she just wants the best for both of us. But honestly, that could sound like a guy saying, you know what? I met this girl with 1,000 bodies, and now she's saying she wants to marry and do it right. That means her heart is in the right place. No, the people don't have their heart in the right place. I don't think you've ever met anybody like that. And so I'm not saying don't get married. I'm not saying do any of that. But you'll come to find that human nature is quite wicked, and the 1,000 bodies isn't what made it wicked. And you might find yourself married and you have a family and children. And you're like, wow, I'm glad I did it. This is fine. I did it. But I'm thinking about that conversation I had with Nick years ago, and it's like, wow, it's true. We were quite wicked. We wanted things, and it's fine. You got a family out of it and all that. But I'm saying the wickedness, it seems to me like it's deeper than this concentrated moment. Like, but don't take that to think like. It's just when you said a girl that has a good heart, her heart in the right place. I mean, that just sounds like you don't know what you're saying.
Like it sounds corny.
Right. It's like heart in the right place. So you're telling me that she just wants marriage now? Like you're telling me that she wants something. She wants something else. She's done having all this sex and now wants another thing. Like be mindful of well, I guess I'm not saying anything besides that. It's like having your heart in the right place it doesn't sound like what we think it sounds, If I'm rambling a bit now, but
no, you're right.
What do you think about that?
I think humans don't. I think all humans are. I think all humans are trash. We all have wicked hearts, and God knew that. Jesus knew that, and that's. I'm not even going to quote from Jesus because this is going to cause a lot of messes. But I just think that if you're going to consider marriage or wanting to settle down with someone in the future, I think just be prepared to know that most modern women have a lot of bodies, and that's just something that we all have to come to terms with. That's just the fact of life at this point. So if you want to settle down with someone, just know they've most likely been around, but I'm not judging them for that. I don't care about that. That's not here nor there. That's the past. But that's what I think most guys. I think most guys think about that. But I think a lot of time it's off-putting for them, and I don't know. Maybe that's why there's decline in marriage, and yeah, I don't know. But I just wanted to run that by you to see what you would say because
yeah, Dean, thanks. No, nothing besides that. Appreciate the conversation. You said just you're telling the audience, hey, watch out. Most women have a lot of bodies. I'd say watch out. I'd say most, if not all, women have they have an enmity towards the man, even the one they say they love, the one they're with, the one they're married. I'd say most, if not all, have a jealousy, hold something against them. Wish they did something this way or that way, and it's an enmity, and even your darling one that's like, oh, I'm done with the sex and the bodies, I have my heart in the good place. I'd say if there's anything, oh, watch out, guys. Women out here have a lot of bodies. Yeah, that doesn't even matter. Most men have.
Yeah,
I'd say put it like this. No, I'm not saying that doesn't matter. Let me not say that, but I'll put it like this. If there's one thing, you're saying worry about that, I don't say worry about anything, but that's important to you. Let me flip it on you. Let me give you another one I think is more important. Most, if not all, women hate men, right? They have a jealousy and enmity, and you have to overcome the woman and kind of be like aware of this. But anyways, hey man, appreciate your call, Dean. We got to move on here.
Last but not least, I just want to say that I believe that men failed women. That's why they are the way they are.
You said what?
I said I firmly believe that men failed women. That's why they are the way they are.
That men fail women.
Men failed women. That's why they are the way they are. Because we failed them. I'm not saying you or I, but I'm just saying in general. Like we tried taking advantage of them. We tried pursuing them because of sex, and they're very. The women are very.
They have to repent for what they're doing, and we repent for what we're doing.
But so you don't think that that men in general
they wanted it that
women.
way. They love it. They love it. They have a love-hate relationship with that whole setup, being used, etc., and they get what they want out of it.
So they got what they deserved.
In a sense. Yeah, no, but we both have to repent for what we were doing wrong. Yeah, men have that place too. And I mean, and I won't deny this. I mean, that we kind of have a responsibility, no? There's an order. So there's supposed to be an order here, right? Where's that order?
Right.
Dean, man, appreciate your call. Call me again.
Hey, man. Take it easy.
Folks, we spent plenty of time on all this, and look at all these calls. I hope you guys call me tomorrow. I'd love to get into some of these topics with all of my lovely callers, filling up the lines. Had some amazing calls. Super chats, we did it all. Let me make sure we did all the super chats and all the coffees, because we got to go. We got to vacate the studio. Don't miss it, though. We got Punchy coming up. I'm hearing, allegedly, we got stuff to tell all of you. So, we're going to tell that to you at 2 p.m., I think. 2 p.m. Pacific time, Punchy TV on YouTube. Live with the fellas out here in the bullpen and otherwise. What else here? Amazing. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of your lovely White History Month Wednesday. I'll be back with you tomorrow. We got Bible Thumper Thursday on the JLP show, The Hake Report, and then American Anchor Baby, and another White History Month day. Amazing, folks. Take care. Let me say goodbye for real now. It's so difficult. Take care, folks. Peace. Oh, Lil Nick, too. He's got to say bye. Bye.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.